Because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme
Okay.
Court. I travel not for business and commerce. I just
Same thing. Same thing.
If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened.
Okay, folks, today we have one of the most stupid sovereign citizens I have ever seen. This guy managed to rack up 17 fines from a single traffic stop, and yet he's sitting in court acting as if he's not the defendant. Seriously, how can anything like this happen? But don't worry, by the conclusion the judge has fully shut him down, and you won't want to miss it. In the meanwhile, please share your thoughts as you watch. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate this guy's IQ? Because after watching this, I am giving him a solid 2. Now let's take a look at the charges that this guy has just received.
Count 1, drove while license suspended. Count 2, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2, furnish false forged info to police officer. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Count 1, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket is drove while unlicensed.
17 different citations. This guy is collecting them like Pokemon cards. I swear he might be sovereign citizen's final boss. I'm not even sure he can count to 17, but he managed to rack up 17 violations as if it was some sort of accomplishment. But enough with the chatter. Let's get into what this sovereign citizen has to say for himself.
Aaron Ruck on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to the counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on special appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cat that says on my ticket.
Okay. All right. So do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you need an offer? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court.
Oh, because the United States Constitution explicitly grants you the right to commit crimes and then pretend you don't exist in court, all because your name is in all caps. Please, make it make sense. If any of you understand what this guy is talking about, please let me know in the comments, since I'm absolutely clueless. These sovereign citizens believe they can simply stroll into court, throw out some legal rubbish, and suddenly leave. But guess what? That is not a thing. Courts have repeatedly rejected this argument. Just ask the judges in United States v. Harwell or United States v. Cooper. At this point, these individuals are simply mocking the court. They call themselves U.S. nationals or sovereign citizens, but it all boils down to the same excuse. They don't want to be held accountable for their acts. What do you all think? Is this person for real, or is he merely being ignorant to avoid his tickets? Let's dig back in.
So if you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled. I have a passport, and I'm traveling. I don't drive. I just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce.
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, all 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So, Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if you don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't drive.
Go ahead.
For the record, I do not drive.
Okay. So how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay. All right. So would you like me to get you a... Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
Boom. That's what I like to see. This prosecutor is not kidding around, and she really has to take over for a minute and deal with this fool, since he's making a complete farce of the courtroom right now. She completely struck him with a mic drop moment. If this sovereign citizen says he's not the one on the ticket, fine. Let's simply seek a warrant for the person whose name appears on it. I adore it when judges refuse to entertain such rubbish. Now, I just hope the judge follows her advice, since at this pace, the entire docket will be backlogged by the time this guy's hearing is complete. What do you all think? Was she going too far, or was this exactly what needed to happen? Drop your ideas in the comments section. Let's get back into it.
Mr. Williams, on these tickets?
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
If you assume, yes.
Okay. So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no?
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by the president if I don't agree to these tickets.
Who's going to send you to prison? I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issue a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but you're not going to get arrested. But she's saying if you're not going to say that you're the person on these tickets. Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm going to skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out. Then I'm going to give you all the time in the world, and we're going to figure out what to do with you today, okay? I don't mind taking the time, but I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give me a moment.
And now this genius must wait 3 more hours to be heard again. What a way to spend the day, right? But trust me, this following section is absolute treasure. The judge basically talks to him like he's 5 years old, breaking things down step by step, as if she's teaching him how to tie his shoes. Honestly, it's like watching a child get told no by their mother. But this person is acting as if it's a high-stakes court struggle. Let's dig in and see what happens next. So, are we calling it?
We called on the matter of the people versus Timothy Talley Williams. These matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount of time to be able to have all of his questions answered about the matters that are before the court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir. Now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered in exchange. He did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this sorted out today. That's,
right. So so the options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That'll give you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations will have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the three. Or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time to the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and it just remains there. And then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
Right, so I said,
rights, and I don't understand what's going on. So,
okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was taking them on hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I being pushed with this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme Court. So,
Of Michigan?
of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
You gave the wrong answer, buddy. The 10th Amendment of the Constitution explicitly empowers states to handle civil concerns such as traffic infractions. That's right. States have the capacity to enact and enforce laws, even if you believe you're exempt due to some sovereign citizen myth. And don't forget the full faith and credit clause, which requires states to recognize each other's public documents, such as traffic penalties. This individual appears to be unaware of the situation. However, YouTube Law School most likely does not cover this topic. What do you all think? Is this sovereign citizen truly certain that he has discovered some magical loophole? Or is he simply delusional enough to believe his own nonsense? Let's dig back in.
All right, they wouldn't have jurisdiction over local matters, though. And that's going to be the problem. You're going to run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right. So if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national. What jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the jurisdiction.
So that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. It's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
It is. Now my status is corrected.
That will put an end to this nonsense for the time being. This person opted to take his case to pretrial, so we will probably see him again. Apparently, he believes he is a legal genius, but let's be honest, pushing these arguments with a straight face, he's either deluded or completely devoted to the bit. Honestly, the court was really lenient with him. In my opinion, she could have shut him down much earlier instead of allowing him to spewing sovereign citizen nonsense. But perhaps that was her strategy. Give him ample space to utterly disgrace himself. What do you all think? Did the judge handle this appropriately, or should she have been more direct? Share your ideas in the comments. I update every day, so stay tuned for more exciting court hearings like this one. I sincerely appreciate everyone watching. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone.